What happens when a doctor promises you a perfect hand, and instead you grow chest hair on your palm? Welcome to Hawkins versus McGee, one of the most bizarre and unforgettable cases in American contract law, also known, somewhat infamously, as the hairy hand case. In the 1920s, a young man named George Hawkins had a burn on his palm. Enter Dr. Edward McGee, a local surgeon with bold ambition and a flair for overselling. Dr. McGee tells George and his father, "I can give you a 100% perfect hand." So George agrees to the surgery, and what does Dr. McGee do? He performs a skin graft, using skin from George's chest. What Dr. McGee apparently failed to consider was that chest skin grows hair, and sure enough, it kept doing that, right there on George's palm. Imagine looking down at your hand and seeing chest hair sprouting from it. Not great, not perfect, not even close. So George sued Dr. McGee, but here's the twist. He didn't sue for medical malpractice. He sued for breach of contract. The case made it all the way to the New Hampshire Supreme Court, and the court asked the million-dollar question: how do you measure damages when someone promises you a perfect result and instead gives you a hairy disaster? The court had to decide, was Dr. McGee's statement just optimistic doctor speak? Or was it a legally enforceable promise? The answer, it was a promise, a real binding promise in the eyes of contract law, which brings us to the heart of the case: damages. George didn't get compensation for pain and suffering, because pain was part of the expected deal. Surgeries hurt. What he didn't sign up for was having a hand that he needed to shave, so the court awarded expectation damages. That means George was compensated for the difference in value between what was promised, a perfect hand, and what he actually got, a hairy hand. Here's the legal goldmine buried in Hawkins versus McGee: when a professional makes a specific, clear promise, that can be a contract. Expectation damages are the standard remedy in contract law. They aim to put the injured party in the position they would have been in if the promise had been fulfilled. That means you're entitled to the difference between what you were promised, smooth, normal, hand model worthy fingers, and what you got, a hand that might qualify for a shaving commercial. This case is iconic not just because of the outcome, but because it beautifully and bizarrely illustrates the principle of benefit of the bargain. What were you promised? What did you get? Pay the difference. Pain and suffering. Nope. The court said that was part of the deal. You knew surgery hurt. You just didn't know it would come with a fur coat. Thanks for joining me on this hairy ride through classic contract law.